Hey everyone, there's a bunch of Star Wars trailers. No secret that I'm out of Star Wars. I'm just out. So I'm not gonna like this. Fair warning. Wow. What is this? Really? What the hell is this showing the old stuff? Man, they must be desperate if they're showing this stuff. And they show it in the wrong order. Showed it in the order of the movies.
But this is your fight.
Please let it come to an end. Thank God.
Your journey. Yes, it's him.
Ooh, lightsabers. That's a good substitute for a story. Any more? Nope, we're done. Look, Star Wars for me, it's done. Whatever magic George Lucas created with the first three movies, to me it's been cynically squeezed and crushed by the people who came after it. Even George himself, really, those prequels, to my mind, that's what got me out. I was out in the prequels. Although I'd have to respect that George at least created them because he created the original movies and created those. But this stuff, oh man, it's beyond bad for me. I mean, just the worst kind of cynical, manipulative movie making. The problem, I think, is there's just too much money involved. Too many hands in the pot. Too many cooks spoil the stew. You just can't get anything visionary and wonderful like you used to. You just get the same version of things. They just mix it around. It's kind of what happened in comics. I mean, they reached this point in DC and Marvel, I think, where they had superheroes, they had supervillains, and you can't really bring in anything new because you're doing Batman. What's bigger than the Joker? Nothing. Nobody at DC, in my view, wants to like develop the next Joker or develop the next Spider-Man villain or whatever. Those days are behind them. The development process happened early on. It's the same thing with Star Wars. All the cool stuff happened in the early movies because that's when it was new and you could just create stuff because you needed stuff to drive the story forward. You know, Lando really, he's a character that drove the story forward in the second movie. We needed a guy like him to make that happen. A lot of these characters you don't need. They're like, well, they need them in that, like, we need a guy to be this guy. Like, we need a guy to be the pilot, or we need a guy to do this. But they're not necessarily driving the story forward, in my view. So there's a lot of fat there, and it's really just a lot of corporate movie guys telling you, oh, you're gonna love this, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it, look at it, it's so wonderful, look at it. And really what you end up with They get you in the seat, they get you all hyped up, and then, wasn't any good. You want to believe it's good. You know, I wanted the sequels or the prequels to be good. They weren't, in my view. They just weren't. So I bailed, and I'm out. And this stuff, you know, I've talked to a lot of Star Wars fans who hung on, hoping against hope the sequels would be good. And they've just been disgusted by one after another, especially after the last one. I can't see this movie doing well. I think it's time that it came to an end, and that Disney just shelved the whole franchise for a while, and then maybe come back in 10 years with hopefully with a fresh look, when there's not every studio exec with his hand in the pie, and maybe you could bring on a creative team that would do something kind of cool, and or maybe reboot the whole thing. I don't know, but you know, it's just one of these things that's gotten too big for itself. Star Wars, for me, is dead.